What happened with Mixtape is the equivalent of showing up for family game night with a pop-up book. And then that same pop-up book ends up winning the best board game during family game night. Or at least being told it was a 10 out of 10 experience when it comes to board games. Let's go crazy. Let's go bonkers. Let's advocate for better journalism in gaming. Is that too much to ask for nowadays? Is it too much of a stretch? Am I overreacting? I don't think so. They don't represent us, and they haven't represented us for quite some time, and that's just the kind of mentality we've had, and we're just okay with that. Yeah, they don't represent us. No big deal. Who cares? Who's listening to IGN? Well, the people that fund these games, they look at IGN as the mouthpiece for gamers. They look at the direction they push gaming. They solely base that on listening to outlets like IGN, and they're going, well, that's just what the gamers want. And if we're all just like, well, we're dismissive and we just don't care what IGN has to say, this is how we get ourselves into these predicaments. This is how all these AAA companies go under. This is how all these games go under, and then they blame us for not playing those games and not enjoying them. But we've been telling you guys we don't like these games. It's not the direction we want to go. Video games have evolved to the point where at their best they have elevated and strengthened the aspect of every other medium within inside them. They've evolved to this super avatar that just really highlights every other core element within mediums. You know, you'll find the greatest soundtracks attached to some video games. You'll find the greatest storytelling in video games, and it's really beautiful when these all come together and they fuse into this great representation of like what a game is and what a true powerful game should be. It is also very important to remember that those elements elevate gaming. If they are by themselves, they are no longer a game. If you take those elements out, they're no longer a game. A movie story won't be a video game. An album or a bunch of music will not be a video game, you know? All these things that elevated and enhanced gaming are fantastic, but they're icing on a cake. They're not core aspects of what gaming is. They're additives. So alone, they will never make a video game a video game. It's important to remember this more so now than ever, because we're losing that, especially within journalism, which clearly the plot is lost. They've lost the plot, and that's a problem. Since its conception, video games has and always will be about the gameplay, overcoming those challenges and obstacles to reach that goal. When you're playing a game, your interaction with the game matters. It changes the experience to give you your own unique experience within said every single game. Sure, a game can have a story from point A to point B. You can play from Mario from point A to point B. But there's a certain level of skill involved. There's a cause and effect. There's also risk for reward. There's actual repercussions for failing. Choices you make. What choices can you make in this game that'll change the course across the whole game, that changes this experience and makes it very truly unique to you? It's always been one of the greatest representations of mediums in general, but it relies heavily on the gameplay and the fact that you yourself as a human can interact with this thing to change the direction, to do something different, to even if you play this very similar to somebody else, you're going to walk away for the most part with a different experience. That's gaming at its core, is the gameplay. And as the medium has evolved, it incorporates and highlights other factors, you know, such as the storytelling. Because it started, gaming at its core started with, Pong, and then to Pac-Man, Tetris, stuff that didn't really rely on having a story or having a soundtrack, although some of these other games did implement beautiful soundtracks and beautiful stories, and that's great. That's how it's evolved, and it's beautiful that it has evolved to such a degree. But we have to watch how gaming journalism has lost the plot and already forgotten what gameplay means. They only look for the icing. They're no longer interested in the cake in itself. We find journalism when they're giving their reviews only talking about how the icing left them feeling afterwards, not how the core game made them feel, how these mechanics played, how they're unique and different. If you take out the gameplay from the review and you just focused on the icing, are you even reviewing a game? I don't want games catered so people who don't want to play games can play them. That's just movies. I don't know why we're advocating. Everyone that's complaining about anybody that's arguing about this, because right now, this is crazy. All right, I've been working on this video for a while, even before Mixtape came up, because this is why we're talking about. We're talking about Mixtape. I was working on a video talking about the disconnect from IGN and just gaming review or journalists versus gamers, and how much of a problem it is and why it's a problem and why people even championing these journalists. It sounds insane. We're just advocating for better games. Anybody that's arguing about the state of gaming and arguing about games like Mixtape, they genuinely love the medium so much that they're trying to advocate for better games. This is something for sure, but it's not a game. This is more so of an interactive movie, and I think it needs to be treated as such. Before you ask, let me jump ahead of this, because I already know one of the simple questions, and it's not even a question out of good faith, because I'm gonna jump in front of that. Most of the time when you have issues with a game that's presented in such a way, people first jump on you and go, well, did you even play it? Well, first off, they don't even care about the answer. They just want to, one, use that against you, and two, whenever you do say, yeah, I actually did play it, they're going to be like, well, you went into it with bad faith, so I'm not going to take anything you say into consideration. Well, cool. You wouldn't respect me even if I did. Two, there's 4 optional ways you can experience Mixtape. All right? The first one, you can buy it and you can play it. I think it's like $20 off rip. They are on sale once it released for like $2 off or something like that. I digress. You can buy the game. That's one way to experience it. Buy it, play it. Or 2, you can buy Game Pass, which I believe it's on Game Pass. You can play, pay for a month of Game Pass, play it. 3, you can watch somebody stream the whole game and walk away with the exact same experience with the lack of any implementations from your self to the game, with the lack of decision making and different choices, with the lack of your gameplay functionality actually weighing into the game at all. So that's a third way. You can technically go in, watch somebody stream this game, and walk away just as impacted with this game as somebody who had their hands on the controller. Then, number 4, you could pirate the game, but what's the point of even pirating the game when option number 3 gives you the exact same experience of those who've put in the actual, or holding the controller and making the decisions? Because there is no true decision in this game that weighs on anything. The game plays itself. This is the antithesis, this is the peak of games playing themselves, and you yourself, the disconnect. This is no longer you, the person, interacting with a game to experience gameplay. This is the epitome. This is ripping the gameplay away from a game. This is the illusion that your input has any meaning within this game. This game rips away gameplay and sells it to you as you're having the time of your life. Through nostalgia bait, this is the key jingles of games right now. As far as to journalisms, at least, us gamers who could see this could see it and call it out for the BS it is. And I'm not going to be bullied into, well, you didn't even play it, because I've watched several hours of this game already. I watched several lives of people playing this game, and I watched plenty of videos and clips that I feel like I could walk away with almost knowing everything this game has to offer. And that's crazy. I could almost walk away with the full experience of this game, because there's no impactful moment from the player to the game. There's no impactful moment. They don't care about this. It's being sold to you in this way. This is an interactive movie. I don't care how you want to slice it. That's exactly what it comes down to. Hell, one of the pivotal moments in this game can be completed without even pressing a button. And it's a whole segment of you running through the city. It can be completed without pressing a button. This isn't gaming. This is an interactive movie, and it's not just being paraded like a game. It's being paraded as a 10 out of 10 game. A 10 out of 10 game. A 10 out of 10. Are we crazy? Are we losing our mind? We've lost the plot. The journalists have lost the plot. This interactive movie abandons gameplay for a movie experience. That's what you want. That's what everybody advocating for this game to be a 10 out of 10 wants. They want a movie experience. Go watch a movie, guys. Please. These aren't new, though. Let me be straight with you. Walking cutscene simulators is nothing new within gaming. It's been done before. However, we have definitely reached this pinnacle with Mixtape. It is definitely the interactive movie. It has very few sprinkles of interactive moments. This is actually really revealing and a red flag to all those journalists. We need to look at every single journalist that gave this game a 10 out of 10. You guys have lost the plot. You guys want movies, not games. You should not be doing reviews for games. This is a cry for you guys need to get your shit together, because this is not representing gaming at all. We're going backwards. It shouldn't be held to this high regard. It should be called out for not being a game. It's insulting to the gaming in general, and it's really revealing. We know now which journalists have lost the plot. Which ones don't represent the gamers? If it's hardly any gameplay in your game, is it even a game? If I can open up anyone's stream of playing this game from beginning to end and walk away with that full experience, is it even a game? It's a game that's begging to be played by itself and you to be watching it. That's just called a movie. I'm gonna break it down to you, but that's just what it is. So if they want a movie so bad, and if they want to call this a game, where's their review of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets DVD that had special features that had interactive games on it? Shouldn't Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets DVD be considered a video game now?
Thank heavens you have your flying car to get you out of trouble. The ultimate goal? Getting back to Hogwarts, of course.
They do have a review of this, but it's not in the review of a game. It's a review of a movie. Weird. I feel like you would get more bang for your buck buying Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets DVD, playing those mini games, and then watching the whole movie than you would out of Mixtape. Yeah, so why are we treading this thin line? What is a game now? Is anything, any medium across anywhere with an inkling, with an ounce of interactivity a game now? Damn, I genuinely need to get cracking on it. Start opening up those interactive pop-up books. Maybe these are video games now. A 10 out of 10 is something that should be regarded as pushing the medium forward. Mixtape? What are we pushing the medium of gaming out of gaming? Is that what pushed it forward to you? If anything, it's a major regression. This is not the direction gaming needs to be pushed, because if you're pushing gameplay out of gaming, you're no longer pushing for gaming. You're no longer advocating for gaming. You're advocating for movies. I'm here saying we need to reform the way games are rated and that we hold journalists accountable for the horrible takes. Let's start tallying up these guys. Let's do a quick recap, honestly. Let's do a quick recap of all the recent mishaps from IGN. And it's crazy that we even have this many. It's crazy to even just have one right now. If you truly even represented gaming, you would maybe just have one and it would be a long streak of not having an issue. But there's three I can think of right off the bat. We have Travis Northup's review of Crimson Desert. He had issues with solving a puzzle where he had to do climbing. He couldn't reach the spot he needed to reach due to stamina limitations. And so he had to find a ledge that didn't feel like it was intuitive in the game's design to even be there. But he found it, got there, got his stamina back up, and was able to move on. But he failed to mention things as simple as leveling up stamina as a possibility. He failed to mention any potions he could have drank to increase his stamina as a possibility. He failed to mention any food or consumable items to regain stamina. Bisque cores, those are things you can slot in and out of your armor sets to regain stamina or even increase your climbing speed. He failed to mention armor that could help with climbing speed. And he failed to mention the multitude of abilities that can help him with his traversal. So boom, Travis Northup, I doubt you played Crimson Desert. 2, Will Boger covered Mouse PI for Hire. Go watch some cartoons. That was the craziest take, and I think we can all agree on that. Get on that. Simon Cardy is this guy who just covered Mixtape. Stop reviewing games. Go review movies. That's clearly what you want. But the problem is, no matter how much we call this out right now, IGN's just going to keep on being super eager to welcome these guys back to write the next review and keep on misrepresenting gamers. Well, let's be a voice. Let's collectively jump on them. Let them know that you need to reform this stuff. This needs to be done differently. It's no longer acceptable to be doing reviews the way you guys have been. And when you thread the line of what it actually even means to be a video game, then it gets to the point where, are we even reviewing video games? Today, I'm going to give you guys multiple solutions of how I believe this can all be changed for the better. One is the most important. As the medium has evolved, we should absolutely be calling for every single major journalist outlet that covers video games to give us proof of play. Whoever's covering your video game, and if it's you yourself, physically record yourself playing the game. Cover yourself playing the entire game. We need proof that you guys actually played these games. You don't need to upload the game. You don't need to upload your playthrough of the game prior to the game's release. But once that game releases, once those NDAs are up, absolutely put that video online for everyone to see. We need to know that you guys have played the games. Hell, I feel like this would be great for IGN. They deserve to know that you're actually doing your job. Give us proof. I don't want to see, hours played. Those are numbers and stuff you could fabricate easily, especially nowadays. Especially with AI, you could take screenshots, Photoshop, anything. I don't care. We need to actually see you guys playing the game. I need to know the mindset you are when you're playing these games. I need to know that you know the square block goes into the square hole and the circle block goes into the circle hole. Now, I don't want to see this journalism when we know that there's this disconnect and it's just like these proving moments, which would be very revealing with proof of play. We can then see, hey, IGN, I don't know if this guy is the best guy for the job. I don't think this guy is doing a good job representing us gamers who love these games. I'm not going to sit here and watch somebody who doesn't know how to put the square block into the square hole complain about how a game has bad game design. That's exactly more or less what happened with Crimson Desert. Blows my mind. We need to be able to see that, though. I would love for us to get the footage of Travis Northup playing through his first time of Crimson Desert. Let me see that. Let us all see that. We need to know the state of mind these people are going through playing this game. You can tell us that we're going to watch this guy who maybe gets home from being berated by his ex-wife or whatever, jump on all pissed off, playing through, doing his review, getting mad at the game because he's got external things going on. I don't know what the mindset of these people are, but if there was a way we could see this, if they actually reviewed themselves, they're playing through these games anyway, let us see you playing the game through its entirety. Upload it. Guess what? IGN, hey, if you want to, you want to be extra greedy with your money, claim those videos. That's more videos and more watches for you guys, right? Wouldn't that be just a positive for everyone? We get the proof of play. We get that right mindset, the right representation with the games that we're playing. I can trust that this person actually loves these types of games and actually plays them with decency and understanding. I would love that. I think everyone would love that. We need proof of play in video games. I feel like let's evolve journalism, video game journalism. Let's evolve to the point where we get proof of gameplay. It's only a net positive all around. Everybody that's involved. The only person that's going to be complaining is the journalist. And if they're complaining too hard, then maybe they're not even playing these games at all. How do we know they're not just lying and using AI to create some generic coverage of the game and putting a generic number behind it? Let's eliminate that and have proof that they actually played the game. That's just number one. And I think proof of play goes miles, all right? It's not going to fix everything, but it goes miles. Because number two, we need to keep gaming at its core. When we're reviewing a game, we need to understand what games are. The gameplay itself, the aspect of playing a game, the aspect that it does, the ratio of gameplay versus cutscenes doesn't get impeded on. I mean, I don't need all these companies to start jumping on and making more cutscenes. I don't need all these companies going, oh, well, IGN gave this game a 10 out of 10, so let's just make a movie. No, we want gameplay in our games. And that's number two, is keeping gameplay in our games. Keeping the gameplay as the highlighted feature in a video game. By not giving movies 10 out of 10s for video games. That's crazy. All right, number three, we need to revise the score. All right. Yeah, I know a 1 out of 10 looks better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They sound better, concise, right to the point. But gaming being the titan it is in the medium deserves a lot more analysis and nuance within itself. We know there's a lot more nuance within gaming. So having the extra point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 attached to your score isn't that bad. It's understandable. You would receive a lot less crap when you're giving a score a 6.9 or a 7.3. Plus, you wouldn't be berated for just giving every game a 7. That was another hot thing that everyone would just consider. IGN just doesn't care. They give a generic 7 and walk on and move on with their lives. Let's 7.3, 7.2, 8.1, 6.9. We can put those numbers on there and it would make more sense. Number 4, ideally, so this one's ideally, give it a 3-way split between journalists. Have 3 journalists cover the game and then come up with an average score between all 3 of them. I want to know, this one could be kind of treading a weird line, but I know you heard 3 people being involved with one project and started clutching your pearls like no other. Give me one more person. Give 2 people that actually genuinely love and playing these games. Make sure they play them all the way through. Give us the proof of play that they both played all the way through. Let me see the line of thinking. Let me know that they were on point with their review and they gave it earnesty. Like they approached the project with a good heart and knew that they had a job to get done and reviewed it to the high heavens and actually focused on the key element of gameplay. And then treated the icing as the icing. They ate the cake, loved the cake, give the icing, acknowledge the icing that complements the cake. I don't need a journalist just jumping into the icing, okay? And if I can just think one of them's doing it, maybe it'd be a lot easier to believe that maybe the other, if one guy's doing it and just paying attention to the icing, at least I can hope that the second person or third person is more focused on the cake, giving an all-around general answer. I'd feel a lot more comfortable with that. Number 5 is IGN. Engage with the community. Stop having this disconnect. Stop treating everybody that has any criticisms as a complete animal who doesn't understand gaming. Oh, these are just those losers who only like this in gaming. Oh, it turns out there's probably a lot more than you think. And it turns out that maybe they have more input, or maybe their input's coming from more of earnesty than anything. Maybe they're tired of seeing all these companies going under because they've been constantly telling you that they prefer this in their game, and you call them weirdos for wanting all of those. Okay? You call them, nah, don't listen to them. That's not actually what gamers want. They want more movies. No. Maybe sometimes gaming is key to having great games. So this is just some ideas, all right? I'm not saying all of them need to be implemented. Maybe some of them can be improved upon, okay? Number 1, I don't think is, though. I think there's no room to negotiate that. Proof of play absolutely needs to be implemented. The times have changed. This is what we're calling for. This is why people trust streamers' voices over journalists, because they can actually see that the streamers have played these games, you know? People went to streamers because they couldn't rely on journalists like IGN. They couldn't rely on these outlets at all to give them any honesty. So they have to go to streamers to even get an inkling of understanding of how these games operate. And it's actually been more beneficial this way because they go to the streamers who play these games, who love these games. Maybe their favorite streamers are really good at shooters and wants to really hear what they have to say about a certain game. I think it's beneficial for the studio to go, instead of IGN, we're actually going to listen to this streamer and his community because these are the people playing our game. I think it's becoming more evident, and I think that's more important. I don't think it's good to shame those people for doing that, because it's only natural. Once you have a system that fails, you're going to go look for solutions. People are finding their solutions within streaming. It just sucks that IGN still has this voice within the industry that has any weight, and it does, and it's unfortunate it does. We saw it with Crimson Desert. They gave it a 6, and people were like, 6 is not bad. 6 was enough for that company to take a big hit in the stock markets, and I don't think that 6 was justified. I don't even think that 6 was even warranted, or I don't even think that 6 was deserved, because I don't think the guy played the game. All right? And that's crazy. It's crazy that we can live in a world where, say, somebody actually didn't want to play the game, didn't like that company, had some grudge, was like, you know what? I'm not going to play the game. I'm going to use AI to write up a bullshit script. I'm going to give it a 6 because I know it'll be just low enough to take a hit. I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm saying the fact that that is something that can be thought of, that's something that can actually have happened, that could have happened. You know, it's a possibility. The fact that that's a possibility is crazy. But if there was proof of play, boom, doubt disappeared. Because Travis even said in that thing that he had a game-breaking bug. How do I know he had a game-breaking bug? How do I know he didn't just lie about that? What if he just was, he wants to discredit these companies? Once again, this also kind of plays into the whole collecting money, IGN collecting money for reviews. Maybe once again, can't prove this, just saying that this could be a possibility, and the fact that it could be a possibility is a major red flag. Maybe IGN, if they were collecting money for reviews, could be like, hey, we don't want these companies, they don't like to pay us, so make sure it's a subpar review. And then Travis North's like, all right, then I'll use AI to write a review, and then I'll give it a bad, a bad rating that's not looked kindly upon this way. I know it can defund this company, and I just got to hope that the gamers don't show up for it and advocate for it, and then, then we're good. Then we're pushing these companies that won't pay us out, and then we'll keep on parading these companies that don't really put their work in there, that actually don't represent games, that aren't games at all, where we'll make sure IGN's like, hey, I know this guy loves movies, and he's going to be really touched by this game because it's got a decent soundtrack. Hey, you guy, get on this game and give it a really good review because they just paid me $1 million for a positive review. Not that it happened. The fact that this is a possibility is a red flag, all right? Proof of play can eliminate a lot of doubt. It's not going to eliminate it all, but it's a great start. And that's just the number 1. I know I keep on harping about it, but it's something that's just annoying. It's annoying that we have this realm of where journalism has not evolved with the medium. Gaming journalism has not evolved with games, even though games and the media around it, every facet has evolved to some degree to incorporate this or that. Journalism around it, it's just like, hey, just trust me, bro. Trust me. Nah, I'm tired of this, because now there's more doubt than ever. There's more disconnect than ever, built off of trust me, bro. We can't do it anymore, guys. We need to jump on it. Guys, please share this video. Please get this out there. Appreciate you guys watching the video up until this point, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. But please, actually, honestly, if you have any other ideas that you think would be great for journalism in general, to like, hey, we need to advocate for these changes as well. Number 1 and number 2, absolutely the biggest ones I care about the most is keeping gameplay. Number 2 was keeping gameplay at the core. Number 1 was proof of play with journalism. So if you guys have any other ideas with how journalism can evolve, please, put it in the comments. What do you guys think? How do you think we can like change the direction? I understand why, and please understand that this is why it's important. We can't just watch these videos and go, well, it's not that important. It is, dude. This is pushing things. I love this hobby. I am a huge gamer. I love gaming. Gaming is like such a huge part of my life, and I hate seeing in direction it's going and being told that it's my fault. I'm not just trying to complain. I would like to complain and bring attention to the problems, but also maybe offer solutions, because I feel like that's not done enough. And maybe that's something that should be normalized more or less. I know inklings, we have inklings of ways we can approach it, and yelling at them and telling them bad, it's only going to work for so long. Yeah, it can work to a certain degree, but maybe they're just that dense. Maybe they really just don't understand that the square block goes into the square hole. Maybe they need a little more hand-holding, and if a little more hand-holding and just feeding them solutions, then so be it. Let's normalize feeding more solutions. Let's normalize getting that out there. We should all be excited and eager to push the medium forward. It's only going to benefit everyone involved. Anyway, if you like what you saw, didn't like what you saw, appreciate you guys all the way, no matter what. Feel free to drop a like and follow. With that being said, guys, keep being amazing, keep being awesome, keep catching them W's, y'all. I will catch you next time. Peace.